Okay, good morning everybody. We had a little technical difficulty. It was really weird, but we got it fixed, so I hope that this is working. Is there anybody on? Like, can we tell this is actually happening? No? Okay, I'll keep going anyway. So good morning everybody. I am Jill. I am a vintage shopping tour guide in France, and so I wanted to share some really good their time-saving tips for you for when you're doing your vintage shopping, especially abroad. I am coming to you from Sacramento, and I'm packing for my fall season in Provence. I'm leaving in a few days, so I'm actually in packing mode. So I got all these ideas that came to me, and I hope they're going to help you in your next vintage adventure. So, okay, let's start then with our tips. And are we actually doing, is it working? Okay. All right, so the first one is bubble wrap and packing tape. So unless you're only bringing like vintage linens and clothes, you're going to need this to keep things protected. And you don't want to be running around France trying to figure out how to say bubble wrap and figuring out like where you get that stuff. You're going to spend like an hour and a half, and it's going to be really expensive. Just bring it with you, and if you don't use it, just bring it back. No problem. You know, you always want to have a lot of space going so that you have that empty space coming back to put your treasures in.
Jill, we have a little issue. One of your friends said no sound. Just me?
Oh, wow. Okay, does anybody else? Oh, that's too bad. Should we pull that?
Yeah.
Okay. Too bad. Can you hear me now?
See, Barbara said no sound.
Still no sound.
Let's see.
There's still no sound. Well, if there's no sound, there's no sense in doing this. Still no sound, right? No sound?
No update yet.
That's what someone said, no update yet?
Barbara said no sound, and I haven't received any comments.
And nobody's said anything. Okay, so still no sound, huh? No? Oh, wow.
Someone said I think it's buffering.
Oh, okay. So, I don't...
Judith can hear you.
Judith. Oh! Judith. Mama la Judith? We don't know. Okay, thanks, Judith.
All right, let's start from the top.
Start from the beginning. Okay, we're having all kinds of technical weirdnesses this morning. So, okay, back from the top. Good morning. I'm Jill. I'm a vintage shopping tour guide in France. But right now I'm in Sacramento. And I'm about to go to my fall season in France, so I am in packing mode. And I have 10 time-saving tips for the vintage traveler / shopper that I wanted to share with you. Because when you're in France, or some of these it's working, when you're in France and you have just a little bit of time, you want to use every moment to create a lifelong memory, and you don't want to be running around looking for things that you could have just easily packed at home. And it's just going to take the stress out and let you enjoy your trip all that much more if you follow my advice. Okay. So the first thing is packing tape and bubble wrap. Do you know how to say bubble wrap in French? No? Well, you don't, and it's going to be kind of a pain to go try to figure out how you say that and where do they sell it and on and on. You don't want to run around for an hour and a half looking for bubble wrap when you probably already have some at home. Throw it in your suitcase. And some packing tape too, and it's also really expensive over there. It's just like, just really bring it. It's gonna help you out. Unless you know you're only gonna bring linens and clothes. Anything fragile, you're gonna have to have that. Another thing is your box cutter. Bring a box cutter and do a little plastic job. It's a numbers game with the luggage weight. You always want to keep your numbers as low as you can, weight-wise, so every little ounce counts. So bring a plastic one, and don't forget to check it in your, to put it in your check bag, because if you put it in your carry-on bag, they're going to take it away from you, right? So be sure to put that in your check bag. Then we're already over here. So, oh no, we're not. Where's our luggage scale? Here it is. Okay. Luggage scale. This is a must. You have got to bring this because you know how the airlines are now with fuel prices and their weight limits. Sorry about all this ambient noise. We have 50 pounds, anything over 50 pounds, it's going to cost you a lot of money. So to avoid the wasted money and the stress about am I over, just bring this little guy. It's a digital luggage scale, and you can get these on Amazon, eBay. They're about $10, and they're fabulous. They're really easy to figure out. You just hold it up, like around your the handle of the suitcase. Hold it, it'll weigh it, it'll beep. You look, and you know. Speaking of luggage, bring, this is for you, definitely for the shoppers, bring a suitcase within a suitcase. So this one is packed, okay, it's already got my stuff in it, and this one is empty, and this is for all my treasures I'm going to go find over there. And you can bring a lot. You'd be surprised how much you can bring. It's just, you can bring mirrors, you can bring shelving that you can break down. It's fabulous. This is going to save you time at the post office. It's very expensive, it's very time consuming, and it's stressful. I've actually had tour clients who were in tears at the post office. It can get really funky in there if you don't know what's going on and you're stressed for time and all that. This is a lot cheaper, it's a lot faster, etc., etc. So yeah, so that's obvious. And then you do the suitcase within the suitcase because you have to pay for each suitcase that you check. So that's the whole point of this. You know, leave as much space as you possibly can, of course, when you're going on your trip. The next little tip is bring a box or a cookie tin or Tupperware. If you're going to bring little tiny Fragiles, you put your Fragiles in there, pack it with your clothes, you know, or your bubble wrap, whatever, and keep your things nice and secure in there. This tip, I absolutely love this. This is, you can either get a packing cube, which keeps things nice and grouped and stackable. And when you are in your hotel room, it's kind of like you've got little, everything's all grouped and organized. It's fabulous. So you've got like little kind of shelves already, and I love this. And this you can get for like $10 a set of these on Amazon. And Lindsay's with us. I think she's VAing, and I think she might have a link for you to Amazon for one that I really like. This tip I like even better. It's one of those plastic bags that you get when you buy sheets, like sheets and pillowcases and comforters and stuff like that. I love this. You can see everything in here. I group everything. Like I'll put all my, you know, lingerie in like this size one, or I'll put all my jeans in a bigger one, like a, you know, like one that was for a full size set of things. This is just for like a twin set here. But another way you could use this is like if you are, you know, you're going to France and you know you have a dinner right away, instead of rummaging through your suitcase trying to figure out what to wear, you just put your entire first outfit in here and you're set to go. And this even has this little pouch where they have the inserts for the, you know, the cardboard like label thing. So I can put my jewelry in here and it's not going to snag on the clothes because it's protected in that pouch there. So I love this little tip. This is a great time saver. It's a nice organizer thing. Now, what do you do when you get to your hotel room and you've got your clothes, you pull them out and they're all wrinkled? Well, to save time, you don't call down to the front desk and ask them to bring up an ironing board and an iron. You bring your DIY wrinkle release. And this is an awesome tip. What you do is you bring a little spray bottle with your cap, you know, keep it, of course, watertight. And all you do is you bring some fabric softener, liquid fabric softener, and then you will measure out about 1 tablespoon to a cup. That's the ratio. Mix it up, and then put your, you know, your top or whatever on your bed. Spray it, and then just pull out the wrinkles. It's really nice, and you're going to need a little bit of time for it to dry, but it doesn't take too long. You can add some rubbing alcohol in there too. It'll help evaporate faster, but you don't have to. So this is DIY wrinkle release. Doesn't cost anything. It's awesome. What do we have next? We have converter plugs. You've got to have this. It's a different system over there. It's 220 volts, we're 110, and it also has a different physical, you know, plug. So you're not going to be able to use your appliances, your electrical appliances, without dealing with that fact that everything is different. So this just deals with the fact that it's a different physical plug. It does not convert. Some things don't need converting, some things do. The converter, I don't have it with me here, but it's a big box. It's a box like about this big that also plugs in. This is what you need to physically get in there. So this will save you time by getting these. Order these online again. Converter for France. If you're going to France, Italy, it looks a little different. England, it looks a lot different. And don't waste time blowing out the fuse in your old hotel room by insisting on using your curling iron. Even with the converter, like your curling iron and your, sorry about that ambient noise, your curling iron and your clothes iron, they really pull a lot of juice, and they're probably going to blow a fuse. So if you need to curl your hair, get one that's either a dual voltage, so that you can just do the switch and then plug it in and you'll have no problem, or just get a French one already with this plug. And I don't know exactly where you can get that, but I bet somebody on eBay is going to sell those. So that's a time saver, because honestly the ironing thing, it never works. You really have to be prepared for that. It's a bit of a bummer when you don't have electricity. So another time saver. Now to get these, what are these? These are euros. I do not recommend you get them in advance in the States at your bank. I don't like the rates that I'm hearing people are getting. It takes a long time. It's another errand when you're already getting busy trying to, leave on your trip. I don't like that. Some people just want to do it because they want to have euros with them. I don't think you need to have physical cash with you to get to your hotel room. If it makes you feel better, of course, go ahead and do it. But I always get to my destination without any cash. I always have some, but even if I don't have any, I can do it with a credit card, right? So what you do to get your Euro cash, what I do is I bring my ATM card. I let my bank know that I'm going to be using it in France, because they'll get like a fraud alert thing probably and stop and block your card. So let them know you're traveling, let them know your dates. You can do that with your app, and make sure you have a 4-digit PIN code that all those machines in France use to get your cash, and then you just punch in your numbers, and you'll get, of course, Euro cash. You won't get dollars coming out of that machine there. You'll get the Euro cash. And also, you might want to ask your bank to up your limit. You probably have like a $500 limit of daily cash withdrawal. They can do a temporary, increase. Ask them to do maybe $700 or $1,000, because every time you pull money, you might be charged a fee, a bank fee. And who likes those? Nobody. So the sort of less times you have to use that service, the less fees you'll pay. Another little tip, it's not so much a time saver tip, but it's a money saver tip. Your bank in the US might have a sister bank in France, and if you use that bank, they're not going to ding you with that bank fee when you withdraw from their sister bank, someone they have an agreement with. I have Bank of America, and BNP used to not charge, but now Bank of America's getting their fee again with BNP, so that's another story. What else do I have to tell you about? I have to tell you about cell phone batteries. Yeah. By the way, this is how this converter works. Go back to that. Right there. So that's when you don't, in this case, I don't need a converter with my cell phone battery. I can just dispense with that part, but I do need that adapter. So this is a great time saver. You every night before you recharge going to bed, you want to recharge your cell phone, so you don't have to worry about it the next day, run around and not have battery to take those beautiful videos and photos. So this is like an additional battery pack that actually fits around. It's like also a case. It fits around my phone, or you can get one. You can get like a little USB kind of a deal where you just plug it in and it gives you another few hours. And those are great. So every night before you go to bed, plug in so you're all set when you wake up the next morning and you're off on your next day's adventure. So I think we have covered it all. If you ever want to go on a trip with me or have questions, I'm happy to answer your questions, even if you don't go with me on my tours. But it's letrip.org. And if you're watching this on Facebook, of course, Le Trip France on Facebook. And next time, I'm going to be doing these lives weekly now. I'm going to be in France next week, so the next live will be direct from France. If you have any questions or a particular theme you'd like me to cover, please go ahead and email me or put them in the comments. I love to do what you want to see. And we'll be doing through November, mid-November, France and Italy live shows, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks for watching. Bye.